Welcome to playoff season. 20 drivers, 10 races, 1 champion. There will be plenty of highs.
Goes high. Kevin Thompson goes high.
Kevin Thompson's got it.
Kevin Thompson with a last-second move. My God, made the high side work.
A few lows.
Adam Gardner into him. That's going to bring out a caution for sure.
Oh, no.
And a whole lot of burn it down.
But Kevin Thompson, burn it down, son. If you still got any gas in that thing, my friend, burn it down. And he is going to burn it down. Well-deserved and earned for Andrew St. Cyr. Let's see a show.
Get ready. It's playoff time at Talladega for the Group 6 Cup Series.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to race number 7 of the playoffs. Welcome to the Group 6 Cup Series, and welcome to Doghouse Racing TV. Coming to you live from Talladega Superspeedway for the Talladega 250 here. It is going to be a great night of racing. As always, my name is Hunter Foley. I'm up here in the booth with my broadcast partner, Jonathan Smith, and we are about ready to get you down to all the racing action for tonight. But before we do that, got to make sure we thank all of our wonderful sponsors who have kept this thing going all season long and continue to do so for 3 more races after tonight. As always, for the entire season, it has been the Group 6 Cup Series, and Group 6 continues to be our series sponsor. Thank you. Special shout out to Group 6 for being our series sponsor and supporter this year. Group 6 is a leading creative agency. They're passionate about crafting cutting-edge websites, developing dynamic web solutions, and providing top-tier managed hosting services. Their mission is to help businesses of all sizes enhance their online presence, explore their wide range of services at group6inc.com, and see how they can drive your digital success. Special thanks once again to Group 6 for being our series sponsor this year. Doghouse Racing League and the Group 6 Cup Series are also very proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. The Doghouse Racing League and the Group 6 Cup Series are also very proud to be sponsored by Butt Kicker. If you want to pick up something from the very best in sim racing haptics, be sure to head on over to their website at thebuttkicker.com. They are trusted by both professionals and the everyday driver alike. And if you pick up something on their website today, I know you will not be sorry. Thank you once again to Butt Kicker for being a longtime friend and sponsor of the Group 6 Cup Series and the Doghouse Racing League. Like we said, we are expecting a very fun night of racing here at Talladega tonight. If you want to make sure you don't miss any of the action here tonight or for the remainder of our playoffs here, be sure you subscribe right here to Doghouse Racing TV so you don't miss any of the action. Make sure you leave a like on the stream. It helps support not only the drivers, us up here in the booth, but the league as well. And make sure that you're leaving a comment to cheer on your favorite drivers. They love hearing it. We love reading it. It's one of our favorite parts of being up here in the booth. We have a packed out field here tonight, so I know we're going to have a lot of people out on the stream watching and supporting here tonight. Thank you all for joining us. Got 15 people in here so far. Already got BMAC in the comments, as always. First of all, with a quote from North Carolina's own Eric Church, sure would like to stay in Talladega. And also saying, go Team BMP, show everyone what drafting is all about. Go Gary, Kevin, Adam, Nick, and Andrew. Line them up, play follow the leader. Special shout out to Andrew number 12. Congrats to Nick on the arrival of the little one. Shout out to Nick Atwood and family there. And they got music and racing in here also saying Dega baby. It is Dega baby. We got 5 minutes of practice left here, and then we will get on over to the qualifying. So I think that's about my cue to go ahead and shut my mouth and turn it over to my broadcast partner to say something intelligent about Talladega. John, take it away.
Well, it is fantastic to be out here. We've got a really good show for you tonight. Coming out here to Talladega, a lot of people love this track. A lot of other people don't like this track, not because the track itself, just because the style of racing that you're going to see over the next 2 hours of your life here. It is definitely going to be action-packed, close together, tight racing for quite a while here. Not going to be spread out as you've been seeing at some of these other tracks, but also going to be a lot of fun. Got to utilize the draft. Got to make sure you make some friends out there. Make sure you're pitting on the same strategy as you see this team right here come out with what we call a pit party. Everybody lines up at the end of the pit road and waits till we all go at the same time so we can practice some drafting here. Seeing Jamie Horn lead that pack in front of Bill Gentry, Danny Wilkerson there on the bottom, Steve Bonomo on the top side, Brandon Trush in that purple 23, and Tyler Millette in that 94. But it's going to be a fun one. I love watching Talladega. I know you probably heard me say it a lot. I don't really like Talladega. I don't like driving it. I like watching it. It is a lot of fun. It's going to be very tight racing and like a chess match pretty much the whole race. But decided to come out here and see who's going to get it. And, you know, I'm a sucker for physics. There's a lot of physics at this track, and we'll probably get into that a little bit more as we go on tonight.
Yeah, the physics of Talladega are definitely going to be a little bit extra interesting here. With all the new drafting kind of ways that the wind moves around on these cars and the different ways that it's going to change based on what sort of lane they're going to be running, how close you're getting to the next guy, the side draft, it is just going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, we're definitely going to dive into some of that later. Try to have some cool animations made up for this, but just kind of ran out of time and didn't get a chance to do it. But it's all right. We'll talk about it. Nobody cares anyways. It's just physics. Rip it, hit the pedal, let's go. But definitely a lot of stuff comes into play, and a lot of these things these drivers have to watch out for, especially the side draft here tonight. As you see, looks like Bill Gentry's kind of working on that right now on that high side there under practice with some of his teammates. Steve Bonomo, same way, trying to get as close to that car on the outside as possible to make that air go over top of that car and then push down on the back side of the car on the inside of you. And we're going to see a lot of that tonight, a lot of shifting of lines. We heard St. Cour talk about at Daytona how the high line played very well there. I'm kind of think it might do the same here, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's also going to change is how the track changes over the course of the rest of the, the weather changing as we go throughout the rest of this race as well. I think we're racing, I think it's like 1 in the afternoon or something like that on the sim. Track temp's going to be 93 degrees, so it is going to be definitely a little warm out there, going to make it a little slick as well. Just a reminder also for everybody at home, we're doing 250 miles at Talladega, which means that we're going to be doing 94 laps out here on the track. We will be having stages at lap 24 and lap 47 if this is your first time joining us. We do not throw any sort of caution or break for those stages. That is just for bonus points. Bonus points will continue to mean absolutely everything as we continue throughout the rest of this playoff season. Everyone chasing, trying to get the last little bit of points that they can before the season is over. We got Jamie Horn and Andrew St. Cour pretty solidly at the 1 and 2 spot of our point standings right now, but we do have quite a battle going on right behind them.
Yeah, good transition to that. So pull up your point standings here before you come into tonight's race. You can see Jamie Horn got quite a good grip on the lead there. About 88 points in front of Andrew St. Cour. Me and Hunter were talking about it right before this broadcast started. It is definitely possible for St. Cour to catch up over these next 3 races. Some things have to fall into place and some good things have to happen, but it's definitely possible. A lot closer is that race right there for 3rd place between Eric Warman and Justin McMahon. They're actually going to be our head-to-head featured drivers of the night. Chris Simon in 5th place right now. Not a lot of movement outside of Kevin Thompson, who dropped 2 spots, but Gary Clune, Adam Thompson staying in that 7th and 8th spot coming into tonight's race. Moving on back a little bit, not a lot of movement here as well for Josh Cully. Been sitting in that 9th place spot for a while. Steve Bonomo moves up 1. Wilkerson moves up 3. I believe Tyler Millette had a miss last week's race. It's going to move him back a little bit behind Bill Gentry. Nick Atwood down in 14th. Mike Leftwich in 15th. Tony Martin in 16th. And then no movement whatsoever for this 17 through 20 here. the last drivers inside of the playoffs right now. But things are definitely likely to change. Anybody can go out here and win this race. Not saying it doesn't take any skill, but it definitely takes a little bit of luck. And sometimes luck finds the right people at the right time. Yeah, looking at Jamie Horn's hood cam right now too, or his roof cam. He's got Bill Gentry is my real daddy, Papa Gentry. Last week it said, "Thanks, Mom, for having me," so I think he's switched up from that this week. But kind of following along, watching Jamie Horn's line here as he comes out the track for qualifying. Going to try to stick to this top line and use the top side of the track, which is the longest part of the track, to try to get as much speed and RPMs built up as you come around here. And he's going to ride this top side for this first whole entire lap. As you come out of this corner here, there's a small little ramp right here coming down onto the front stretch that can be utilized for a little bit of speed once he drops down to the bottom for his hot lap, which will probably not be this lap. It will probably be next lap. Start-finish line's a little bit further down past the tri-oval. It looks like Jamie Horn's going to drop it down now and try to get this hot lap here. Yeah, I actually looked into this quite a while ago because I was getting very frustrated with being wrecked every single week. And just realized that I had you muted there for a second. But statistically, looking into this, I think the most likely chance of getting wrecked is around 6th to 10th place in the pack. Actually, you would think it'd be further back or maybe right in the middle, but it's kind of more that mid-front. It's like Jamie Horn downshifted there, blew that engine, so he's going to have to resort to a backup. Like an accidental downshift, or maybe just finished that lap happy with 4th place and took it from there. You know, we might be under 1 qualifying lap tonight, which is why everybody's... No, we have 2 qualifying laps. But watching Adam Gardner get this pole position, good starting place for him. Nick Atwood definitely needs a good run here. Gary Kloon behind him in 3rd place. You know, those Team BMP guys can really tear it up. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I got some high expectations for those BMP guys tonight coming in here. I know St. Cor really needs a win. Gary Kloon really needs a win to move up. Adam Thompson, Kevin Thompson.
St. Cor's going to need to get a win here tonight if he wants to get up there and really challenge Jamie Horn for this points championship. He kind of, unfortunately for Jamie, would need Jamie to kind of have a not so great night, which you don't want to wish ill on anybody, of course. But, you know, that's kind of what Andrew St. Cor's got to be hoping for here if he wants to get up there and really kind of put some pressure on Jamie Horn for that point standing championship. But the rest of the point spots, like you were just discussing, definitely going to be a lot closer. Justin McMahon only 11 points behind Eric Warman. Chris Simon, Kevin Thompson going to be close too. And all those guys are still absolutely within striking distance of 3rd place. And I mean, maybe not as good as 1st, maybe not as good as 2nd, but 3rd's still good. You can't complain about that making it through an entire season and still being in the top 3.
Yeah, I mean, this is a hard league to even get a top 3 in. I mean, you've seen the level of competition they have in this league, and it's tough. And I mean, I've talked about this a lot. You win and lose races in Doghouse off pit road, not just racing and going left and being the fastest one on the track. I mean, you have to be on your game at every part of the track. So these drivers have to pit with each other, make sure they're not getting left out to dry here, and really try to capitalize on maybe some other people's bad fortunes tonight.
100%. Got Sandra Horn in the comments saying, "Good luck, Jamie, number 98. Crossing fingers and toes that you survived the cat and mouse game." I think Jamie also has his fingers and toes crossed. We can maybe take a look at his racing camera a second, see if he's got his fingers crossed while he's driving. We also got another comment here from Flavia, who, if my translation here, my translating skills are not super, but I believe that's something along the lines of, "You're awesome and I love you," for Pedro Rocha, newcomer to the league. I believe he went out there and put down a qualifying time that's going to have him starting in 18th place tonight.
That was a lot better than I could have done.
I picked up words and phrases there, and so it's like, yeah, we'll take a shot. Flavia, please forgive me if my translation was not correct or wrong, but I'm just out here doing the best I can. Got Adam Thompson in the comments here. Adam, aren't you supposed to be racing right now? But he also said screw Jamie. So, Jamie, I guess you know where Adam stands on the issue.
Consider it noted.
Consider that noted. Adam Thompson, write that down for the history books, for the record books. Screw Jamie.
Well, we do have about 3.5 minutes left here of a warm-up session before we get going. Before we actually line them up tonight, let's talk about our picks. Would you like to go first?
I'd be happy to lead it off, sir. So my pick tonight is kind of based off of past performances and then also one specific past performance. So I'm basing this off of that I've seen Team BMP work so well over the course of the year, especially these bigger tracks. And then specifically into that, my pick tonight is going to be Kevin Thompson. Saw him take the doubleheader at Atlanta here earlier this year. Team BMP absolutely crushed those races. They worked together so well as a team. But Kevin able to find that kind of last second speed to get it done each time. He's really good at avoiding trouble. I know he had to miss last week, but I'm going with Kevin Thompson to get himself a late playoff series run here, try to fight his way back up into the top 3.
Yeah, tonight I think I'm going to go with a teammate of his in Mr. Gary Clune. I really like Gary here. Gary's been putting on some strong performances lately. We've seen what he can do at Superspeedways, pick up his win at a Superspeedway last, and finishing inside the top 10 56% of the time. And if you keep doing that enough, you're going to set yourself up for a really good finish. 4 podiums this year over 26 starts. He's sitting in 7th place, needs a win to move up into this point standings, and he's got a good team around him to do just that. So it's going to be a fun one for this race as we are about to go live here in about 2 more minutes. If you got a pick for tonight's race, be sure to drop them in the comments. Let us know who you're going for, who you got all the chips in for. I guess is the PG way of saying that for the YouTube police out there. Cannot.
Yeah, definitely.
Can't talk about money on YouTube, so.
You cannot. They will get angry at you, and then they're going to throw us off of YouTube, and then we're all going to be sad. So we're not going to do that in any way, shape, or form. Got another comment in here that is going to be from 143 Tequila saying, "Let's go Nathan Lawrence." Nathan Lawrence, I believe his first start in the league with us was last week. He's going to be out there in that 97 machine. I believe he has qualified 20th here tonight, but we will go through the full list here shortly.
Yeah, and qualifying position at Talladega is not an issue. I mean, I qualify here just to see what I can do, but really I hold no weight to it. You can start in the back and move up to the front in a matter of 2 laps. So it's just a matter of staying clean the whole race. So it's just where you think you have the best shot at keeping that car clean over the course of this race, over these 250 miles we are about to travel here around Talladega. Definitely going to be a fun one. So we're sitting here watching them get on the brakes here, trying to get into pit road.
Also got Robert Lawrence here in the comments saying, "Cheering on the 97 car. Let's go, Nate." And I got Adam Thompson back in here saying, "Keep my name out of your mouths in the booth. I don't need that bad energy."
Should we
God, the temptation there was just ridiculous.
reverse jinx it? Would that
Adam
be
Thompson
better?
isn't going to make it through the first lap.
Oh, you went and did it. I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm just not gonna say anything about it, man. I know how bad we've been this season with the whole broadcaster jinx with it, but I am not saying
hopefully,
a word.
hopefully that reverses it. Adam knows we love him, so hopefully that will cure my ills if my reverse jinx turns out to be a real jinx. Or I'm just tying myself all sorts up here, so we're gonna go ahead and stop doing that. But we are getting ready to get over to the grid here as the practice session has closed up, and we are getting ready for 250 miles of action here at Talladega. It's just hard to tell what to expect, man, here at Talladega. I think I've seen some of the most caution flags I've ever seen. I think the second or third most caution flags I ever saw in an iRacing event was at Talladega. And then I believe the Doghouse Racing League Group 6 Cup Series, I believe, is the only series that I've ever seen go Talladega with no cautions.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a toss-up about what it's gonna be. I mean, I'm if I had to make a guess, I'm going less than 4.5 cautions.
So if you were going to prop it, you'd put it at -4.5 would be your over-under.
Yeah, I'd take the under on 4.5.
I would actually also take the under there. I wanted to go to the other side just so I could be right, but I would take those odds.
Well, we are starting to grid up here, and while we do so, why don't you go ahead and read us off here?
Be happy to do that. Starting on the pole position tonight here for the Talladega 250, we have the number 2 car of Tony Martin. Going to be starting on the inside here tonight. Starting alongside him is going to be the number 56 car of Adam Gardner. Third place is going to go to the 91 of Nick Atwood. Starting alongside him is going to be his BMP teammate, Gary Clune. Your points leader, Jamie Horn, going to be starting in 5th place tonight. Andrew St. Cor going to be starting in 6th place. Steve Bonomo going to be starting in 7th. Todd Millette starting 8th. Kevin Thompson, my pick for the evening, going to be starting in 9th. Raymond Rittenhauer will round out your top 10 here. Adam Thompson going to be starting in 11th place. Mike Leftwich going to be starting in 12th alongside his Shoney's Racing teammate in 13th. Joe McKnight going to be starting in 14th position. Eric Warman going to be starting in the 15th position tonight, and 16th position going to go to Daniel Wilkerson, fearless leader and race admin. Chris Leftwich starting 17th, newcomer to the league and got some fans in the comments. Pedro Rocha starting in 18th. Bill Gentry going to be starting in 19th. Apparently he's Jamie Horn's dad. Nathan Lawrence also got some fans out there in the comments. Going to be starting in 20th tonight. John Novak going to be starting in 21st. Gary Maydew going to be starting in 22nd. Brandon Lopez going to be starting in 23rd. Believe he was our winner at the Tuesday night series. Mark Dumont starting 24th tonight. Josh Cully, don't expect him to finish 25th, but he's going to be starting there tonight. Justin McMahon going to be starting in 26th. Brandon Trush starting in 27th tonight. Richard Leclerc starting in 28th. And Gary Armijo going to be rounding out the field tonight in the 29th position.
Looks like Brandon Trush and Armijo both still sitting on pit road right now.
I'm not sure why they haven't headed out to the track yet. I'm not sure if they got a end of line thing going on, or if they're just starting it and parking it, or I guess we'll see here in a second. But Adam Thompson was in the comments there before he got, I assume, to focus on his racing. Said, "Love you boys, better pay attention now." Love you too, buddy. Good luck. You're gonna need it. It's Talladega.
And before we get going here, one more time to shout out Group 6, been our series sponsor for the whole year. Thank you to all they do and all the support they've given this league throughout this, and keeping us up in the broadcast booth, giving us something to do every Thursday night. So we really appreciate it. Want to give them a shout out before we get going green here. But about to take the green flag now as the pace car is off.
We are getting ready to get it underway. Green flag is in the air. They are hitting the restart zone, and we are going to be underway here tonight. Talladega 250 here at Talladega Superspeedway, and away we go. Immediately see everyone just trying to stay in their lanes and be careful. So much slipping and sliding can happen so quickly at Talladega, especially once you start getting the track really up and running. Looks like that high lane is starting to get some heat on it right away. That low lane starting to get a push though as well. Look how stacked up they are down there on that bottom side. That's going to be Adam Gardner leading the charge down there on that low side. He's going to have Nicholas Atwood. He's going to have Gary Clune. He's going to have Andrew St. Cyr down there on that low side. Going to be back in fourth place. He's going to be right there alongside Tyler Millette, who's going to be top of the heap on that high side, just being pushed by the number 87 of Raymond Rittenauer. Looks like back toward the back of the pack. It looks like Brandon Trush did take the track. He is well out of the drafts and about 19 seconds behind, but he did get out there onto the track. It looks like Gary Armijo has not elected to head out there.
And there's Brandon Trush right there coming around turn 3 and 4, hanging out by himself. He's going to get caught up with Quick. If you lose the draft here, that is just a game changer. I mean, you're going to fall back so much. Let's see. I don't have a lap time for him right now, but I guarantee it's going to be about 3 seconds behind what those guys are running up front at a minimum.
Yeah, and I feel like another one of the things they changed with one of those more recent iRacing updates is I feel like you used to be able to kind of do okay as like a 2 or 3 car push, especially if everyone was really, really locked in. But now with the new updates, it really seems like you got to be kind of part of a full line to really get anywhere.
Yeah, and I think of what that is really is they accounted for that spoiler on the back a little bit more. On short tracks, those spoilers on the back of those cars are 4 inches tall, and on these super speedway, they're going to be about 7 inches. You can kind of see the clear plexiglass on the top of it. It's going to allow for a little bit bigger of a low air pressure pocket behind the car, so you kind of need more of a stack now.
Got some more cheering in the comments. I believe that's Portuguese. I'm fairly certain that's Portuguese. But either way, they are pulling for...
Oh, man, I want to take a stab at it. Is that give me a O, give me a C, give me a H, give me a A?
I believe that's what it is. And then Vamos, they're pulling for Pedro Rocha.
Yeah, let's check in with Pedro. He's up 11 spots right now, sitting in 7th place right now in that 220 car, pushing on along.
Looks like that high lane is trying to get tightened back up so they can get moved up just a little bit there. Who is going to be on the top there?
That's going to be Nathaniel Lawrence up there. Nathaniel,
that is
Nathan Lawrence.
Yep, Nathaniel.
His old government name.
Old government name, yeah. I don't even know if his name is Nathaniel, but he's up there leading that show on the top lane. It's going to be Adam Thompson right behind him, Jamie Horn. I believe it's going to be Tyler Millette and Eric Warman on that top lane. But that bottom lane is just pushing so well right now. Adam Gardner still at the lead. of that line. He's going to have Gary Clune right behind him, Andrew St. Cyr, Tony Martin. I believe that's going to be then Nick Atwood up there, Steve Bonomo. And then I think that's going to be Pedro Rocha behind him. And then it's going to be Joe McKnight and Nathan Lawrence side by side. It's like that number 8 car, Mike Leftwich, got a little bit squirrely right there. He got a little bit out of line.
Here's a good run right here out of Lawrence on that top side.
Yeah, he's got a good push right there. Adam Thompson could stand to get just a little bit closer there. But, I mean, it is so nervy when you're out here trying to find the right spot to give him that bump draft. That is really how you're going to get a ton of built-up speed, especially being able to carry over into the front stretch here at Dega. But, again, especially since these new updates, you catch these cars on the back end the wrong way, and you've got a 10-person parking lot.
Oh, Adam Thompson gets a little loose, slipping to the outside. I don't think that was intentional to make that third line, but Jamie Horn's going to follow up top. Tyler Millette, Eric Warman also going up top, leaving Lawrence out to dry.
Oh, Lawrence is going to try to get back in line there on the low side. Him and Leftwich are going to touch just a little bit. Lawrence able to get back going and stay in on that bottom lane. Almost gets in the back of Joe McKnight there. I believe they've got it figured back out, back to 2-lane racing now. Steve Bonomo elected to jump high here. The one thing that I did think about is it's amazing to see all of the support coming in for Pedro Rocha here. The problem is that I don't know Portuguese, and so I don't know if I'm gonna say something that's like a curse word or like inappropriate to say, besides just, you know, bungling the enunciation.
Bungled it. I don't think they would set you up like that. We appreciate you guys joining and everybody coming out to watch and support. Pedro's having himself a really good run here. He's now up 12 spots. He's your biggest mover of the night so far in that Toyota 220.
He'll be sitting right there behind the number 91 machine of Nick Atwood. He's going to be side by side with Stephen Bonomo there in that number 9 car. As you can see the pack go around that number 23 car of Brandon Trush. Brandon just going to the bottom of the track there, letting the pack go around, but he needs to get back up and get on the track and get back up to speed so that he can try to catch back onto the draft.
Adam Thompson with a really good push here on the backside of Stephen Bonomo.
Got no hate mail in the comments saying, let's go Nathan, let's see some driving. Nathan Lawrence going to be sitting in 12th place right now. He's going to be on the low side right now. He's going to be right there on the inside of Eric Warman, who's on that outside lane. Looks like Stephen Bonomo up in that top lane. No one wanting to start that third lane up there with him, so he's going to lose quite a few spots there. Still sliding back in the back.
Yeah, at this point, just cut your losses, go all the way back, try to catch that draft and keep up. You'll be able to work your way back up to the front pretty soon here.
On that high lane up near the front. Tell you what, it looked in the beginning like the high lane was going to be the place to be, but it seems like ever since this race really started, it seemed like that low lane's been able to keep about 4 cars at least really in front of that high lane.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see a little bit what's going on with the line. Isn't really together, but I mean the line's together. It's just that higher side. It's just a little bit longer side of the track, and I mean this is a race of inches and feet, really inches, really. But if you're taking the higher side of the track, it's going to be a lot longer I mean, we measure this out. I think the first race of this season that was at Daytona, but I also measure this track out as well. If you ride the top side, it's about 0.06 miles longer than if you were to ride the bottom side all the way around.
Long means slower, short means faster. In case you needed the, you know, not physics guy translation.
I mean, that is Nobel Prize wisdom right there from you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I do what I can. Business school dropout right here, ladies and gentlemen. Got no hate mail in the comments again saying shout out to Doghouse. These streams are awesome, by the way. Thanks for letting us peek in on the races. We have said it time and time again. Really do think that Doghouse puts together one of the best leagues, so it is really a good privilege for us over here, as representatives of Nap Daddy Racing and of Nap Daddy Broadcasting, to be up here in the booth and be able to bring these races to you guys over here on Doghouse Racing TV is a real treat for us. We enjoy doing it every single Thursday. Got a little bit shaken up there at the front. Adam Thompson goes to the front. Jamie Horn was able to use that high lane still and get up to the front for just a second there, but look at the push out of Adam Gardner. Absolutely sending Adam Thompson to the front of this race, and the high lane has its mojo back. It's like Gary Kloon goes up high. He's waiting for Jamie Horn to catch him. He's going to duck right back down. But now Jamie Horn going to be leading the charge on that high side. He's going to have Tyler Millette and Eric Warman right behind him, along with then it's going to be Kevin Thompson and Gary Maydew on that high lane. Low side is going to be Adam Gardner now going up to the high side. Adam Thompson going to be on the bottom. Oh, and there's a car around. It's Tony Martin.
No caution right now. He's trying to get it straight.
I believe he is going to be able to get it down pit road.
Looked like maybe just a little bit of a bad push there.
I believe it might have been Pedro that got into the back of Nick Atwood just a little bit. And then Nick Atwood getting into Tony Martin, and around Tony Martin goes.
Yeah, I mean, that's just racing here. It's really hard to keep that push going. You want to stay in the draft, keep the push going so you can stay up at the front. I mean, sometimes it just happens. It's one of those unfortunate things about Talladega. It does not pick favorites.
It definitely does not. And we were talking earlier about how it just seems like the littlest touch can send somebody the wrong way. It's also just such a chain reaction thing. All these drivers are driving so close and so fast. You just have really nowhere to go. You got to make a decision and stick to it, because if you decide to back off of it or decide maybe you want to do something else, that can absolutely be the end of somebody else's race. And you get into the back of somebody the wrong way, and then they get in the back of somebody else the wrong way, and all of a sudden all of you are going out for chicken sandwiches a little bit early.
Trying to cut back. I'm not sure what happened to Justin McMahon, but he is falling way back, sitting here riding with Richard Leclerc. Pretty far separated from the pack, so we pull up a track map for you so you can see just about how far back these guys are compared to the front. They're really in danger of getting lapped pretty soon here if something does not change soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Just saw a little bit of a checkup there on that high side. High side looked like it's starting to get a little bit more momentum going here. Got two BMP cars sitting up there at the top. That's going to be Gary Kloon and Andrew St. Court. Low side's going to be Jamie Horn at the front with Adam Thompson right behind him, followed by Eric Warman. I believe then it's going to be Pedro Rocha down there in the fourth place on the low side. Nick Atwood going to be pushing Adam Gardner on the high side. Got the 51 of Joe McKnight on the low side, along with the 97 of Nathan Lawrence.
Oh, Adam Gardner goes around. Bill Gentry dives down to the grass, trying to see who else was involved there.
Looked like Adam Gardner just got really loose. Kevin Thompson had to go for a drive to try to avoid it. Nick Atwood going to be caught up in that.
Let's go back here to Adam Gardner. That's kind of wild there. That is some insane net code if I've ever seen it.
That looked like some crazy, crazy net code. Lucky not too many other people going to deal with too much damage from that. Adam Gardner definitely going to be dinged up a little bit. I believe Nick Atwood's probably going to have a little bit of damage as well.
Yeah, let's cut over here to Nick Atwood's cockpit cam to see what he's seeing. Yeah, I mean, it looks like they made contact, but you can see how far away they were. That is just a product of netcode. Very unfortunate. I do want to cut back one more time to this, just so we can see the remainder of the damage and everybody else involved. Looks like Tyler Millette squeezes through Kevin Thompson. Getting through, but diving down to the bottom. Going to mess up that splitter a little bit.
Yeah, I believe Nathan Lawrence got pretty loose while trying to get around that. Looks like Christopher Simon's going to have a little bit of damage as well. Mike Leftwich probably going to have a little bit of damage. Definitely not going to be anything too serious. Definitely think it's probably going to be Nick Atwood and Adam Gardner, unfortunately, probably taking the worst of that. But
yeah, let's ride along here with Daniel Wilkerson and look at this. Woo! Just skirts right on through. I'll hop on board with Kevin Thompson here. Wow, what a save by Kevin Thompson. That was crazy.
That was really great. And you also got Mike Leftwich and Nathan Lawrence sliding around there as well. While that's going on, looking like Jamie Horn's going to bring it down. Gary Clune's going to come down pit road as well. Adam Thompson, Andrew St. Cyr electing to stay out, along with, I believe, Nathan Lawrence. Kevin Thompson going to stay out. Adam Thompson bringing it down. Eric Warman pitting. Pedro Rocha pitting. Joe McKnight down pit road. It's like the majority of the field deciding to come down pit road. But Kevin Thompson, Andrew St. Cyr, and Nathan Lawrence electing to stay out here.
Yeah, that really benefits Justin McMahon there. He was in very close danger of getting lapped. And that helps out a ton for him and Richard Leclerc to stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, I believe Brandon Trush going to be the only car a lap down right now. Tony Martin still going to be dealing with some damage.
Well, while we are still single file here and the pace lights are still on, we are going to take a quick break and we will be right back.
Yeah.
And welcome back to the Group 6 Cup Series, Talladega 250. Out here, got them doubled up. Big shout out to Group 6 for being our series sponsor this year. We are about to go green flag racing here. Andrew St. Court is going to be on your pole, or on your leader on the inside. Nathan Lawrence on the outside. Got a teammate in Kevin Thompson behind St. Court, and another teammate, Gary Clune, starting in 5th place on that 3rd row. Jamie Horn, 2nd row to the right, and then Adam Thompson, 3rd row to the right.
I believe then right behind them, you're going to have, it's going to be Pedro Rocha on the inside, and it's going to be Tyler Millette on the inside, but Team BMP expecting them to get a big jump right here off the jump. All those 3 teammates working together on the inside. We've seen the inside be so successful so far, but still got plenty of racing left to do here tonight. It's going to be lap 22 when we cross the stripe here. Pace car making that hard left turn. We are about to get right back to racing here. They start speeding up. They're getting ready to hit that restart zone, and we are getting ready to get back to green flag racing. Andrew St. Court takes the green flag there, and is going to have a lap led. Team BMP pushing hard there on that low side. Looks like Jamie Horn going to go to the low side along with Adam Thompson. Nathan Lawrence going to be out there to dry right now. Looks like someone's going to go jump out there and help him. I believe that's going to be the 103 car of Gary Maydew. Nathan Lawrence going to be side by side with Pedro Rocha right there. They need someone to jump out there and help get that high lane going again. Steve Bonomo jumps out as well. I think they were trying to get that line a little bit higher than that.
Here comes a bump for Maydew right here. Maybe start to see something kind of form up. You see that bottom lane's a little spread out.
Yeah, the bottom lane up front's really, really tight right now, but back a little bit further, I'd say probably behind about Eric Warman right now, which is where you're going to see side by side with Nathan Lawrence right there. A little bit shakier there. That high side needs to get cinched back up as well. It's like Justin McMahon takes a look to the outside of Daniel Wilkerson there, but he's going to get a little squirrely right there. That was a bold send right there.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a checkup, he was just trying to avoid it or what. And he's going to fall all the way to the back now.
It's like Tony Martin going to get back there. He's going to jump to the high side as well. That's going to be the 2 left, which is Mike and Chris working together on the high side. Justin's going to try to get caught back up there and start working with them. That high side is losing all of the momentum right now. We actually have a little bit of a checkup coming back towards the back of this line here. Gary Maydew up at the front of that line. Steve Bonomo right behind it. Oh, getting a little squirrely again there toward the back of the line. It's like Gary Maydew going to go all the way to the outside. It looks like I think Chris Leftwich thought about it, but as of right now, it's like Gary Maydew going to go all the way to the back of the line, and that high lane's going to have to completely get reorganized.
Yeah, it kind of seems like that Shoney's team has got a little strategy they're cooking up right now. You got Chris Leftwich, and Mike Leftwich, all part of the Shoney's team working together. Back there, Chris Leftwich out of line right now. This is only hurting their chances, but I didn't know if maybe getting a little hot, trying to get some air there.
Starting to see a high lane get going up at the front as well. We actually kind of started to see another pack form almost. But here coming in really hot, you got the 117 that's going to be Richard Leclerc. He's being pushed by Nathan Lawrence. We got the top lane right there at the front. This is going to be Jamie Horn, Adam Thompson, Tyler Millette, and Eric Warman. And then down on the bottom lane, you're going to have the BMP teammates of Andrew St. Cyr, Kevin Thompson, and Gary Clune. They're going to have Pedro Rocha right behind them. It's looking like you're starting to see some of those other cars. Looks like Mark Dumont going to go high. Nathan Lawrence going to go high as well. And now they're starting to drop into the low lane. Adam Thompson and Jamie Horn able to clear. So Tom Millette's going to be able to do the same. That's going to be your new 1, 2, 3. Eric Warman now going to be at the front of that high side lane. I believe he's going to have the 14 of Mark Dumont behind him. Then it's going to be Nathan Lawrence, Richard Leclerc, I believe, and Joe McKnight, Tony Martin going to be right behind them. But that low side starting to get all of the momentum again. Jamie Horn, Adam Thompson, Tyler Millette, Andrew St. Cyr, Kevin Thompson, Gary Clune, Pedro Rocha, Will Canterbury now down there on the low side as well. There goes Team BMP jumping out and starting their own lane.
Yeah, somebody's got to break them up. I know I said it before, but that BMP team is solid at these super speedways. We've seen it all season long, how good they can be when they get grouped up. And I think one of my main strategies if I was racing tonight to come out here is to get in between that 12 and 6 car, between that 6 and 11 car. Anything I can do to get them to not work together.
I mean, they're just proven to be so lethal, especially at super speedways. And, you know, all those guys are so competitive. And, I mean, Andrew, second place, fighting for the championship. Kevin fighting to get his way into the top 3 right now. Gary Clune in the running as well. I mean, they've got a lot to be racing for. And, you know, they practice together all the time. And up in the front, we've seen them working together really well here so far. It's Jamie Horn, Adam Thompson, and Tyler Millette. I believe they got Pedro Rocha behind them now, but those guys are not teammates. I mean, I know they race together a lot. They've been in the same league. I know they all get along, but those are not guys that are, you know, teammates and like in practice sessions together working on things all the time. That is exactly what you see when you see Team BMP.
I'm trying to see right now if all those guys are in a chat together, and Jamie Horn and Adam Thompson are not, but it looked like Jamie Horn was pulling up a little bit so that Adam Thompson can get some air, cool his car off in that backstretch that last run.
Something else you're going to have to keep in mind here as we go into lap 30 next time by here at Talladega Superspeedway. Most of these guys have pitted already. Andrew St. Cyr has not pitted yet. Kevin Thompson has not pitted yet, and Nathan Lawrence has not pitted yet. So tire-wise, I mean, tire will get to you eventually at Talladega, but that is not really your main concern. But especially if we end up with a long green flag run here, I mean, we had a pretty good one to start this race off. Getting off on the fuel strategy could definitely be something that throws a wrench in their plans for the rest of the night.
Yeah, and I think if you see any green flag stops, you're probably going to see most of these guys just take fuel. If it's a yellow flag stop, they might take tires, but tires really aren't worth it here. These cars have so much downforce as it is. And the more downforce you have, especially at this track here, the less your tires are going to wear. Essentially, you just have less sliding, less friction between your tire and the track. Since you have so much downforce, you have more weight pretty much on top of that car pushing down as the air is rushing over top of it, so you're not going to wear out those tires as much, have really good contact with the full surface of the tires, so it wears pretty evenly. Yeah, I think Adam Thompson's getting a little hot. You keep seeing him dive down to the bottom there, kind of getting some air.
I was just getting ready to bring that up. I haven't heard him come over the radio at all just yet, but when you see cars kind of trying to jump out of line in a super speedway like that, there's only one reason you're really doing that, and that's just to try to get a little bit more air into that nose. And because it is way easier than you might think to completely blow that thing up at Talladega. It looks like Jamie Horn actually maybe giving him a little bit of room right there.
BMP's on the top side taking full advantage of that.
Yeah, because at the same time, I mean, that needs to happen. I mean, Adam Thompson's been doing a great job of pushing Jamie Horn here tonight. But Team BMP were able to work together, and they're going to gain back a little bit of ground here. But, I mean, Adam Thompson's car has just got to be about to completely burn up here. Tyler Millette doing a really good job of pushing. Good mention right there. Country Chick in the comments saying, let's go 94. Tyler Millette been running near the front almost all night long. Team BMP starting to get a little bit going there. Kevin Thompson really pushing. Andrew St. Cyr almost going to be side by side with Pedro Rocha there. Man, it just seems like that high lane, unless you are just completely locked in like Team BMP is right there, the high side just really is not able to get a ton of momentum going. And even as good as we've seen BMP work together, I mean, they're still going to be side by side with the 4th place on the low side. It just doesn't really seem like they can get that big jump to kind of get up there in advance.
Yeah, and I think some of that has to do too with that double shark fin you see on the back of these cars to try to get a more zoomed in shot. Right there on the back of Adam Thompson's car, you can see on the left-hand side and kind of on the right-hand side, so we got some camera shake there. There is a little shark fin that pops up on both sides. And we kind of discussed it earlier tonight before this run started. When people try to side draft on the left-hand side, it doesn't really work. The shark fin on the left side is almost even with the spoiler on the back, so all that air just essentially runs over the car and out the back. But if you were able to side draft on the right, the shark fin's a little lower, pushes down more on the car beside you, and can really slow them down. But I really think that's why we're seeing some slower speeds out of that top side as well. But there's, speaking of speed, Kevin Thompson with a great push of St. Cyr.
Kevin Thompson has just been pushing here tonight so far. I'm shocked we haven't seen Kevin Thompson needing to kind of pull his car out for air more often. It looks like he's actually kind of doing it there a little bit. But that low side bitch has been doing such a good job of getting a good push. Not what Andrew St. Cyr wants to be seeing Jamie Horn leading the races. I believe we crossed our first stage on lap 24. Going to still be in the lead though, so Andrew St. Cyr actually going to take that first stage. I believe it was Kevin Thompson, Gary Clune, Jamie Horn, Adam Thompson, Pedro Rocha, Tyler Millette, Mark Dumont, Eric Warman to take that first stage. Second stage going to be coming up at lap 47.
Here you go. Now these guys are starting to really push it on the outside.
They've got a pretty good run cooked up now. Andrew St. Cyr going to be almost side by side with Jamie Horn. That
Look
top lane
this.
really locked in. They can take, look how locked in the top 3 of both of those lanes are. Mark Dumont behind Gary Clune on the high side, Pedro Rocha behind Tyler Millette on the low side. If either of those lanes you can get those drivers behind them to scooch in just a little bit more, that would be the push they need to kind of jump over top of that high or low lane.
Yeah, I'm surprised BMP is not trying to side draft kind of as a unit, all 3 dropping down at the same time and hitting a little bit of a side draft. Can't really do it now. They're more out ahead of the leader, Jamie Horn, but this is going to be a good run right here. There it is.
We were just talking about it, but you got to start figuring out what position you want to be in, where you want to be sitting.
They got to drop. They got to
as
drop.
the stages are coming up.
There they go.
And there they go. Team BMP now back at the front. 1, 2, 3. Jamie Horn and Mark Dumont going to be side by side for 4th and 5th. Looks like Nathan Lawrence electing to stay up on the high side, pushing that number 14 car of Mark Dumont. He's going to have Richard Leclerc behind him. Richard needs to cinch in just a little bit more if they're going to get a run going. It's that low side still pushing like absolutely crazy.
Yeah, you're gonna
Jamie Horn, Adam Thompson still pushing.
You're going to see that top line drop back. When those top 3 cars instantly drop down, it is like just a gush of drag coming in front of your car. All that air hitting at the same time. It's really going to slow it down as you see Dumont there falling back with Lawrence.
But then Jamie Horn, Adam Thompson, Tyler Millette elected to go back up high. You see Mark Dumont cinch right back in. He's going to carry Nathan Lawrence with him. That high side going to get a little bit more momentum right here. Bill Gentry on that low side needs to cinch in to the bumper of Pedro Rocha up there at the front. Eric Warman pushing Bill Gentry.
A good way to think about it next time you're driving your car down the road or something like that, just 35, 45, be safe when you do it, wear a seatbelt, but stick your hand out beside your side view mirror and just hold it behind. You don't really feel air coming. You might feel a little bit on the top of your hand. That's what we call the draft coming through here. And as soon as you stick your hand out from outside of that mirror and you feel all that air hitting your hand pretty hard, that's what these drivers are feeling when that top three drop down just like that.
Speaking of air jumping out, look at Team Shoney's out there creating that third lane. Chris Simon being pushed by his teammate. That number 83 car of Chris Leftwich. They're trying to get a little something going here. Got BMAC in the comments saying you called it correctly, Sandra, cat and mouse. We have enjoyed watching it all season, that back and forth between Andrew St. Clair and Jamie Horn. And tonight it continues, but with a lot of help and work from either teammates or friends. We've seen Team BMP, Kevin Thompson and Gary Clune, been absolutely killing it working together over this last 20 laps. And then Jamie Horn and Adam Thompson have been working together so well tonight.
Oh, Adam Thompson.
Adam Thompson has blown it up. I'm not sure if it's a tire. I can't tell if he's got any RPMs right now.
No, that thing is dead.
What an unfortunate end to Adam Thompson's night. Him and Jamie Horn have been working together so well all night long. We kept bringing it up. It looked like him and Jamie were working together so well, and kept seeing Adam have to kind of dive his car out trying to get some air in it. Unfortunately, I think it might have been a little too much for his car, but that completely changed the field up as everyone's kind of diving out of the way, trying to figure out where they're going to go. Team BMP splits out. They are going down pit road. Andrew St. Clair, Adam Gardner going to go down there as well. Kevin Thompson, Gary Clune, and Nick Atwood all going to bring it down pit road. We mentioned it earlier, a lot of them had not come down pit road yet. That is going to make your race leader, Pedro Rocha. He's going to be pushed by Eric Warman. Jamie Horn going to be in third place. Bill Gentry going to be in fourth, and Brandon Lopez in fifth. Brandon Trush now back up there as well. He's going to be running in sixth. Looks like Nathan Lawrence, he needed to pit as well. Him, Kevin Thompson, and Andrew St. Clair had not pitted yet. So Nathan Lawrence is going to have to bring it down pit road. That is going to leave Pedro Rocha out at the front here on lap 42. We are going to be coming into our next stage here at lap 47. Waiting to see if a second lane opens up here. Right now, everyone's single file line. Eric Warman pushing the crap out of that 220 machine of Pedro Rocha. As we approach our second stage here, just wanted to again say thank you to everybody who was elected to join us here tonight. If you are missing some of the Vikings-Chargers game for that Thursday night football, Chargers are currently winning 7-0 right at the start of the second quarter. But thank you again to everybody for joining us tonight. Myself and John both appreciate it very much. Doghouse Racing TV appreciates it, and the guys of the Group 6 Cup Series appreciate it very much. You guys tuning in every single week in and week out, cheering so faithfully and being so friendly and kind in the comments is why we keep coming back and doing this. But we appreciate it, and we have 21 people out there right now, so thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in and cheering. It means a lot to us. And it seems we saw Pedro getting a lot of support in the comments here earlier on. It must be working out pretty good for him as well, as you see him now led a couple of laps here as we approach the stage 2 of this race. We're going to be coming up when they cross the stripe here. That is going to be lap 44 of 94. Reminder, most of the field pitted. I believe those going to be back on lap 18 or so. I know John can check that, but I probably actually appreciate a fact check on that one, John. But most of these guys did pit back on that first caution we had, where we saw Adam Gardner go around, saw a couple of cars take some damage in that one as well. 2 of the Team BMP drivers in Andrew St. Cyr and Kevin Thompson just needed to bring it down. They elected to pit as a team along with Nathan Lawrence, who had not pitted yet either. We're going to see all of those guys in the back of the field. They are going to be about 40 seconds behind the race leader, Gary Clune, Nick Atwood, Andrew St. Cyr, Kevin Thompson, Adam Gardner, and Nathan Lawrence, all going to be working together to try to avoid going a lap down. Those guys also will not need to pit for a pretty good while. I see Nick Atwood jumping out, probably trying to get some air into that car. We started the race with 28 people. Nathan Lawrence going to be your last car. Well, now it's going to be Nick Atwood, your last car on the lead lap. Tony Martin going to be 5 laps down in 27th. And Adam Thompson, unfortunately, engine decided to go bye-bye, and his night is over. We have got a lot of scattered movement going on up at the front, as we see. Looks like a second lane trying to get formed here.
A re-wide back here.
Yeah, I would say it looked like they almost tried to leave Warman and Rocha out to dry. But then some of the guys split back in. And now we've got a high lane that's going to be made up of Jamie Horn. That's going to be Bill Gentry. That's going to be Brandon Lopez. Up at the top, Bill Gentry trying to drop the hammer on Pedro Rocha and is going to be able to. Jamie Horn now back in front of this race. Bill Gentry second, Brandon Lopez, Pedro Rocha racing there for third and fourth. Eric Warman back there in fifth. Brandon Trush right back in the mix as well on that high side. And if you look out in front of these race leaders, only about a turn away is going to be from most of those Team BMP guys, along with Adam Gardner and Nathan Lawrence. We've got a third lane foreman back here as well at this point. Looks like Justin McMahon going to be up on the high side. He's got Steve Bonomo helping him out. Looks like Mark Dumont thinking about rolling with him. Not able to get any momentum going, though, and they're going to settle back into the second row. Got Flavia in the comments again cheering on Mr. Pedro Rocha. Falling back just a little bit at this point, but it's just everyone kind of taking back over in the draft. Pedro going to be sitting 11th. Oh, big turn. Mark Dumont in the wall hard.
That is going to bring out the caution flag there.
That is going to bring out a caution flag, and what a lifesaver that is going to be for Team BMP, for Adam Gardner, and for Nathan Lawrence.
That car looks just about done, man. I was just so locked into the race. Couldn't even talk for a little bit. Just bit my tongue. Love to see what happened here.
Believe Pedro was going to be drafting with Bill Gentry, and it looked like Pedro went up a little bit, came back down a little bit, threw the draft off on Bill Gentry, sends Bill Gentry screaming up towards that high side and just nowhere to go. Mark Dumont really going to take a lot of damage there.
Yeah, look at Simon making the dodge there, though.
Mark Bates in the comments saying, here we go, Adam T, keep pushing. Hate to break it to you, Adam T's car isn't pushing anymore.
They are pushing Adam T's car right now, actually.
Yeah.
That might be what he's referring to. Yeah, keep pushing it to the garage.
Yeah. The sandwiches, they're getting cold.
Because it ain't got no gas in it right now.
Or oil. Or electricity.
Man, I was locked in on that race in there for a second, just trying to see what was going on. And
I was going to say, I saw a quick replay that I was trying to catch as things were going by. I don't know if you see anything different than I did, but I'm going to take a look and see who's pitting right now while you try to figure that out. Looks like pretty much everybody going to be bringing it down here. Tyler Millette coming down, Daniel Wilkerson, Brandon Lopez, Chris Leftwich, Brandon Trush, Justin Mann, Stephen Bonomo, Jamie Horn, Pedro Rocha, Eric Mormon, Raymond Rittenauer, Bill Gentry, Chris Simon, John Novak, Gary Maydew. It's like Team BMP also electing to bring it down even after pitting quite a bit later. They are also going to bring it down pit road along with Adam Gardner and Nathan Lawrence. I believe I just saw a name leave. So Gary Maydew may have called it a night here as well.
Andrew St. Cyr had a little bit of damage to that front bumper.
Just a little bit, I believe. Looks like in the race off of pit road, looks like it's going to be Tyler Millette.
That's a teammate. Andrew St. Cyr hanging back, waiting for Atwood to go. Going to try to group up, stick together.
Beautiful.
You would have left me out to dry, wouldn't you?
I would not have. How dare you? It's like Tyler Millette going to be leading this thing when we go to restart. Daniel Wilkerson going to be up there along with Josh Cully, Brandon Lopez, Justin McMahon, Raymond Rittenauer, Kevin Thompson, Chris Leftwich, Gary Clune, Jamie Horn. Going to be your top 10 when we get this thing back underway. That caution would have happened back at the end of... right as we crossed from lap 47 into 48, and I believe Tyler Millette gonna actually be doing enough to get the job done right before that caution came out. I believe the top 10 there are gonna be Tyler Millette, Daniel Wilkerson, Josh Cully, Brandon Lopez, Justin McMahon, Raymond Rittenauer, Kevin Thompson, Chris Leftwich, Gary Clune, and Jamie Horn gonna get our bonus points for that second and final stage here tonight, as it's going to be lap 50 when they go across the line. This time, going to be 44 laps left to go.
Maybe a little bit of strategy coming into play right here. Eric Warman, Kevin Thompson coming back down pit road. Chris Simon on pit road.
Wonder if they're trying to figure out a way that they don't have to pit again. Because, I mean, realistically, I mean, Andrew St. Cyr, we just saw, they didn't pit till it was probably close to, I mean, maybe just after lap 40 when they came down.
Yeah, it looks like everybody brought down around lap 19 and then again around 40. The longest stretch I see is about 41 laps. I mean, it will be close. You definitely can't ride out front if that's going to be your play, but before we get back going green here, I want to pull up these top standings one more time. so you can see where your favorite driver is at tonight. We're really looking at Eric Warman, Justin McMahon, who are only about 11 points away from each other in the points in this battle for third place. Which brings us to our head-to-head matchup for the night between Justin McMahon, Eric Warman. Both these guys need these positions pretty bad here. McMahon now sitting, looks like, in 5th place now. Warman fell back just a little bit from taking that pit road there. But these two guys extremely close in the points and fighting to get on top here the next 3 races.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's going to be been a really good battle to watch all season, but it's going to be especially fun to watch here tonight as we get ready to get this thing back going green here. Still plenty of racing left here at Dega, but Tyler Millette going to be taking the green flag in 1st place here, get himself a lap lead. Josh Culley going to start 2nd. Daniel Wilkerson 3rd. Brandon Lopez, Justin McMahon making up the rest of your top 5. Let's see which lane has the juice here on this restart. We are back underway. Lap 52 in the books as we continue this race here at Talladega Superspeedway for our Talladega 250. Tyler Millette got such a good jump there on the low side. Kind of looked like right behind Josh Culley and Brandon Lopez. They did a good job of getting off the stripe. Looked like maybe Raymond Rittenhour spun the tires just a little bit. Bottom lane going to have some work cut out for him to get things back going here.
Brandon Lopez drops down behind the clerk. Only Josh Culley out to dry. Rittenhour does the same thing. Lawrence, same thing.
They all check down to the low side. Josh Culley going to fall all the way back to Steven Bonomo. See if Steven Bonomo was able to catch him there. Yep, big bump on the way back. Looks like Bonomo able to catch him. He's got Joe McKnight back there.
Oh, look at this. Here you go.
Top lane starting to get a little bit of heat back going. Andrew St. Cyr, Brandon Trush having to dodge a little bit of a checkup there on that low side. That low side got really split up there. High side pushing really well. Looks like Joe McKnight got a little squirrely right there. They need Mike Leftwich to cinch in just a little bit more to help that high side get back going again. Bonomo doing a really good job of pushing Josh Culley up there on the high side. Tony Martin jumping out there to go as well. Looks like Nathan Lawrence going to go back out to the high side as well. Like they're going to have a little help from Eric Warman. Joe McKnight dropping back down into the low side. Again, just leaving Steven Bonomo and Josh Culley up there. Now Mike Leftwich is going to have to catch him. So they were able to do a little bit better job of holding on to their momentum on that high side that time. Not as big of a bump coming back to Mike Leftwich. Kathy Trush in the comments. Team Trush, number 23. Good luck, Brandon. Brandon had a little bit of a rough start here tonight. Almost was actually one of our first cars to go a lap down, but has fought his way all the way back. Saw him running near the front, actually, on that last green flag stint after the pit stops. He comes back out in 20th, but is just safe and sound on that low side. He's going to be right there in that mix with Team BMP, actually. He's going to be right behind Nick Atwood. Got Andrew St. Cyr behind him.
Yeah,
and it's going to be Chris.
I'm sorry, let's check in with Brandon while you go through that. There's Brandon. Been working on our cockpit cams lately, try to get you a little bit of a storyline for these drivers, and you can see all your favorite drivers driving from home or wherever they may be. Trush got him a nice little setup there. Looks very locked in right now.
Yeah, I believe he's got hands just a little bit full at Dega, but he's got Andrew St. Cyr right behind him. Chris Simon going to be back there as well. Kevin Thompson going to be kind of near the tail end of that line right now, but still plenty of time left here at Dega to get this thing done. Brandon's got some good RGB going on in that room, man.
Oh, I dig it, man. I am a sucker for the RGB lights and everything about it. I have spent more money on RGB lights and the RGB IF lights and all the other accessories than I like to admit.
I need to get some more. I only have them in my computer, and that's not nearly enough. My ADD demands more things.
Well, I wouldn't like to admit it on stream how much I spent, and I also don't want to tell my wife how much I spent, so.
It's okay, we'll talk later. Oh, that bottom lane is going to get a little bit squirrely there. It's like Raymond Rittenauer was trying to get back down. That caused a little bit of a split there. It's like Nick Atwood, Brandon Trush, Chris Simon going to go up a lane here. Andrew St. Cyr, Kevin Thompson going to stay low. Nick Atwood going to go back down to the low side to pick up Adam Gardner. Brandon Trush and Chris Simon need to find a place to fit in line right here so they don't end up losing the draft. Checking in up at the front, though, we do have a locked back in high lane. Led still by Josh Cully and Steven Bonomo. Nathan Lawrence going to be third in line up there. I believe right behind Nathan Lawrence is going to be the 85 of John Novak. Bill Gentry going to be the next car up there on the high side. That low side's still running so well right now. Tom Millett, Daniel Wilkerson working really well together. Justin McMahon, who we've seen all the way at the back of the pack here tonight at Dega, very successfully running up in third place right now. Right behind Justin's going to be Chris Leftwich and Jamie Horn. After that's going to be Pedro Rocha, and then Joe McKnight and Steven Bonomo going to be side by side. Like that high lane had to readjust a little bit. Steve Bonomo now at the front. Josh Cully going to be sitting in that third spot up on the high side. Nathan Lawrence having to go back to the back of that line. Looks like John Novak going to be the third car in line. Bill Gentry still trying to get caught back up. Looked like Nathan Lawrence might have almost caught him a little bit when he was trying to switch spots back there on that high side.
See it right here. Bonomo might have a good run coming out of turn 4. Definitely good entry.
So Josh Cully's giving him a big old push.
Yeah, the way that those cars separate there on the back stretch, you can kind of tell when somebody's going to have a good run coming out of 4. You'll see drivers here to the end, especially in the last lap, maybe make a little bit of separation between themselves and the car in front of them so they can get a good draft and run around turn 4 so they can move ahead. And you'll see some drivers who are up front actually combat that by hitting the brakes and keeping the driver behind them right on their tail so they can't get that run. Which hitting the brakes here is not an uncommon thing, contrary to popular belief. You'll see a lot of these drivers kind of tap the brake a little bit, full throttle with your right foot, and barely get a maybe 5% brake as you come off of turn 2 and turn 4. Slows up the car just a little bit, maybe half a mile an hour, maybe to 1 mile per hour. And it allows that car behind you to catch up to give you a good push and stay locked in. The whole point is just to minimize that drag.
We were talking, it looks like Team BMP brought it back down pit road. Looks like Nick Atwood, Andrew St. Cyr, Adam Gardner went with him, and Kevin Thompson all brought it down pit road for a gas and go.
Atwood's got to get close. They're going to leave Gardner. Clune still on pit road. This is not good for Gary Clune.
Adam Gardner going to get back out there. Nick Atwood, Kevin Thompson, Andrew St. Cyr. Kevin Thompson and Andrew St. Cyr caught back up to each other. Nick Atwood almost caught up there. Adam Gardner is going to need to get on the gas if he doesn't want to get left behind.
Yeah, he's probably giving it all she's got, and it just won't catch up. He's going to be a lot slower there by himself. But meanwhile, Tyler Millette out here leading this thing still with Daniel Wilkerson right behind him. Not much change other than that, except for the fact that Chris Leftwich now here on the high side, threatening. Josh Cully looking to make a third lane with Bill Gentry behind him.
Looks like that front's going to split off a little bit. Chris Leftwich now going to be on that low side. He's going to be in front of Tyler Millette. Steve Bonomo now getting pushed up on the high side by that 88 machine of Josh Cully. It's going to be John Novak and Nathan Lawrence right behind them.
Ooh, not clear.
Everyone trying to get fit back in. Looks like Steve Bonomo, Josh Cully. Oh, we've got some split outs for the pits. Looks like Steve Bonomo. Looks like Chris Leftwich.
Here we go.
Jamie Horn, Daniel Wilkerson, Tyler Millette, Brandon Lopez, Brandon Trush, Bill Gentry, all bringing it down pit road. That is going to leave Josh Cully in the front of this race. He's being pushed by John Novak, Nathan Lawrence, Eric Warman going to be up there. Tony Martin's up there. He's going to be a couple of laps down right now.
They're about to lap Clune and Gardner.
So Clune and Gardner trying to get cinched up so they can avoid it. Josh Cully, your current race leader, going to go around.
Yeah, you can't avoid it. Just got to ride it. Ride the wave. It's like Cully's going to bring it down. Joe McKnight coming down with him. Joe McKnight had that really, really good run about 2 weeks ago and got disconnected there at the very last few laps. I mean, he was running, what, P2 or something? P2 or P3?
That's correct, sir.
Disconnected.
Had been all night, was having such a great run.
Yeah, just some internet issues. I felt terrible for him. That was awful.
Out front now, you're going to have a new race leader for the first time tonight. It's going to be the 85 car of John Novak. Nathan Lawrence going to currently be sitting in second place. Eric Warman going to be in third right now. Tony Martin is up there. He's currently going to be a couple of laps down. Gary Clune in that mix as well. Gary going to be a lap down, I believe.
It's like Nathan Lawrence bringing it down by himself.
Did he really? That's going to be a bold strategy. Chris Simon going to get past and going to go a lap down here. So up at the front, John Novak.
And look, at this point in the race, you cannot think just because other people are pitting that you're just smooth sailing. We're going to keep it clean until lap 94 or whenever. Because you know this pack of Justin McMahon and Jamie Horn here, Steve Bonomo, Brandon Lopez, Mike Leftwich, all pushing as hard as they can to make up as much time as possible. So if you're this front pack, you really got to tighten up here and make up as much time as possible before you pit again.
100%. And I actually just heard John Novak come over the radio. I don't believe he's on the team right now, so when he wants to talk to people, he has to go over the team radio, which, as a reminder for everybody home, I can hear. We don't broadcast that over the actual broadcast because sometimes these guys get a little angry, get a little competitive, maybe want to say a no word, and don't want your kids or your grandkids or your puppy dogs or whatever to learn something new because of the Doghouse Racing TV broadcast. But anyway, John Novak just got over the radio here and said that he had 23 laps of fuel left. And said for everyone behind him to do with that information what you will.
Here's the problem with that, with him having 23 laps left. He's out in front, so whatever his gauge is saying right now, it's probably going to be about 1 or 2 laps short. of what it's showing. But guys like Tony Martin, Gary Clune right now are able to stay off the gas, maybe not be as full throttle down these back stretches, and they can actually save a lot more fuel. We're talking like 4 or 5 laps, maybe more fuel compared to what Novak can save right now in the front. He's going to burn a lot more. It's not ideal to run around in the first place position by yourself just because of how much more fuel you're burning up.
So currently that's going to be John Novak sitting in first. Raymond Rittenhauer is actually going to be second place, so you're going to see him just a couple of cars back there. Tony Martin sitting there in the what would be the second place spot. He is 4 laps down to 24th. Gary Clune is in third in line there. Gary is going to be 2 laps down in 23rd position. So the actual position fights there is John Novak in first, the 87 car of Raymond Rittenhauer in second. Pedro Rocha is going to be in third place. Richard Leclerc going to be 4th. Eric Warman's going to be 5th. Josh Cully is going to be the next car in position. He's in 6th place. He is 36 seconds behind the race leader. Got K-Doggy in the chat saying, what's up? And then say it ain't so, drivers get mad. Drivers get mad, I get mad.
Never.
I would not want the broadcast to hear what I say when I mute my microphone. John has a talkback microphone. Get a little behind the scenes look here. John has a talkback microphone, so we're able to communicate with each other and not have it go over the broadcast. And I cannot tell you how many times he has gotten over the ring and be like, did you just burp into the microphone? Maybe. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry I did it.
Gotta try to keep it clean. Keep it professional.
Nothing but consummate professionalism here at Doghouse Racing TV out of the Nap Daddy Racing crew.
Yeah, tighten up that tie a little bit.
It's tight, brother.
And this fuel window is going to be very, very tight for these guys up at front. Looking at Novak, Rittenhauer, Rocha, and Leclerc, and Eric Warman. I mean, that is going to be very tight if they only have that much fuel left. Eric Warman, remember, he came back down and pitted on that second lap of caution. We talked about maybe having a strategy there. This might be what we're seeing.
I mean, what would that pit window be like? I mean, I know Novak probably just out here trying to run it as long as he can, so that then hopefully that other pack of guys who've been leading a lot of this race can't get all the way back around and make it competitive at the end. But I don't think Novak can make it even if he was saving. I think he's probably still a good 7 or 8 laps short. But Warman, can Warman make it?
Warman last pit on lap 50. And the farthest we've seen a driver push it tonight is 41. Oh, Gary Clune hard on the wall. I can't even cut to it. Gary Clune's car is toast there on the front stretch.
Oh, man, it looks like Tony Martin was trying to go up. He got into Clune a little bit, and then Clune came down, one off of John Novak.
Let's see if we can rewind this here a little bit.
But Gary Clune's car is toast, and John Novak going to have a lot of damage as well. So unfortunate to see for John Novak. Had been running so well, led quite a few laps here tonight. You seeing the same thing I'm seeing here?
Yep. That is very unfortunate for Gary Clune and Novak.
I mean, obviously nothing purposeful there out of Tony Martin. Probably was just trying to let his car breathe a little bit, but unfortunately Gary Clune there in the line. Such a near miss there for Adam Gardner. Don't think there's definitely anything intentional there, but unfortunately there it's going to cause Gary Clune to come down. And it's going to bounce down, take out John Novak. Gary Clune having a good race. Was a couple laps down because of some pit strategy, but still definitely in the run. And John Novak led quite a few laps here tonight. Been running up at the front for the last quite a few laps here. And that is going to mix things right back up here.
Yeah, looking here at Gary Clune's stat line tonight. Prior to tonight's race, finishing in the top 10 56% of the time this season. This one's definitely going to hurt a little bit. He's trying to advance past that 7th place position in points. Who this does not hurt at all, though, is Eric Warman. And the other 3 guys, what was it? Pedro Rocha up there. I don't know if it's Roca or Rocha. Because, you know, like Mocha is kind of spelled like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to make sure I get it right. Ray Rittenauer had a pit as well. He did not come down, it looks like. Maybe he did. Richard Leclerc. That's definitely going to help out guys like Eric Warman, though, fighting for some position, trying to get some points tonight, doing everything you can. If he would have pitted, I believe he would have went a lap down, not able to catch up with just a 4-car pack.
Yeah, that's a big lifesaver for those guys. Robert Lawrence in the comments saying, okay, Nathan in the 97, time to move to the front. Let's go, kid. I believe Nathan Lawrence going to be restarting in 15th position here. Once we get this thing back going, I think we're trying to get everybody cinched back up here.
Yeah, there's Nathan the Kid Lawrence. Just out here trying to crown some new nicknames.
I like it. I can appreciate that, but I believe it's just going to take some minutes to get anything cinched back up here. I got Ray Rittenauer. He's behind the pace car. I had Richard Leclerc showing that he was in first, but I think that might have just been an iRacing glitch.
I think he's waiting.
I'm not 100% sure.
He's waiting on the pace car up there.
Ah, that would make sense. John Novak in the comments. Well, there goes the upset win. Still a really great run by Mr. Novak. There got a lot of laps led tonight as well.
Yeah, that's Talladega, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is Talladega right there. Well, still hopefully some good clips you can grab in there for the old highlight reel.
That's why I hate racing. Love watching it. Hate racing here. It's just not good for my mental health, my physical health, my social health, spiritual health, financial health. You know, all of those things. It's just better if I stay away.
Does it affect your financial health that you get so mad from running at Dega that you need to go to the store and get some cold snacks?
All of it, man. Makes me want to throw this computer out a second-story window, to be honest with you, sometimes.
Make it see if it can go ahead and evolve some wings.
Yeah. Put old Darwin to the test.
Test this theory.
Oh, Darwin and his finches. But we are in Alabama and not the Galapagos Islands. As we're about to come
Those
here,
are the opposites.
To go. Yeah, that's kind of the complete opposite. 21 to go here. Only 3 cautions so far. If you said under 4.5, you are still right and have 1 to spare, and there's probably going to be 1 more. That was our over-under at the beginning of the night here.
I'm not going to let you get away with the Galapagos Islands, Alabama thing. I don't know if you've ever been to Alabama, and we got a lot of people in here from Alabama, but, you know, yuck.
I imagine they're not the same.
What is not yuck, though, is that we are about to get back to green flag racing. Going to be Richard Leclerc taking the green flag here. He's going to be on the high side. Ray Rittenauer going to be on the low side, pushed by Josh on the low side. Look at that high side dive in. Jamie Horn, Brandon Lopez, Justin McMahon all jumping in to go low. Looks like Joe McKnight, Daniel Wilkerson, Tyler Millette, Andrew St. Cyr all going to be behind them, all one big, long stretch. John Novak was saying that was fun. Don't know how I ended up leading and with fuel to make it to 90. We were kind of wondering the same thing. And then Sean Thompson saying Alabama is a third world country. See, I'm tempted to say that you're saying that because I know you're a Georgia fan. But yes, Alabama sucks.
That is from a South Carolina fan there. But yeah,
That is from a South Carolina.
The fuel window there was kind of the whole big talk, trying to figure out John Novak.
Oh, you've got
there.
some. Kevin Thompson able to squeeze that gap right there in the middle. Good Lord, that was some racing.
Yeah, with John Novak out there in the lead, not sure if he was going to be able to stretch it, burn up a lot of fuel out front. But still, making it to 90 laps off that tank was going to be very impressive itself.
And have a little bit more shake up that low side. Two Team BMP guys, Andrew St. Core, Kevin Thompson down there on the low side. High side, Justin McMahon, Jamie Horn, Brandon Lopez. Daniel Wilkerson up there as well. And Sean, just so we can make sure that it's all fair here, I'm a diehard Atlanta Braves fan. I also think that most of the state of Georgia stinks. In some cases, literally.
They say it's the paper mills, but we'll never know.
You ever driven near Marietta? Ugh.
Joe McKnight flushes to the high side there. St. Core is going to close that door, take that spot. He's going to be second place in the points. Your points leader, Jamie Horn, on the outside and one car behind, trying to push Justin McMahon all the way through. Fantastic push right here from Steven Bonomo, but that is a good run by Joe McKnight on the high side. Coley goes up to try to block. McMahon's going to sit with Coley.
McMahon's going to stay with Josh Culley. Joe McKnight hung out to dry. He's going to need some help up there. Nobody going to help him right now. Joe McKnight going to get shuffled all the way back to the back. Josh Culley now leading that high side train. Steven Bonomo on the low side.
Wouldn't be surprised if there was some angry words said there by Joe McKnight over the radio or over his muted mic at least about that.
I've heard the words you say when you get left out to dry at Dega. And, yeah, it was you were just quoting Jesus Loves Little Children, right?
Yeah, she's singing songs about Mary and her little lambs.
And the ring of rosies. Sean Thompson in the comments saying, "Go Dodgers."
Oof.
I hear you. I thought we as Americans could all agree for 1 second on one time that we're all pulling for Toronto.
As Americans, we're going for the Canadian team.
Aren't you going for the Canadian team?
Absolutely, I am.
I bought a hat, man.
You know how many times I've seen the Dodgers beat the Braves in the playoffs?
3?
Since 2007, 18, I think so.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is Kike Hernandez has been there for like all of it.
Yeah, basically. Vladdy Jr., the Yankees lose.
Look at that. Steve Bonomo taking that low side. Coley flushing up to the high side there. Going to get right in front of Justin McMahon. Bonomo needs a push.
Only 15 laps left to go here in the Talladega 250 here at Talladega Superspeedway. Josh Culley at the front of the train right now, getting a really good push from Justin McMahon. Jamie Horn now almost side by side with Steven Bonomo. Justin McMahon now going to the low side. I think that's about where you want to be. I don't know if first place with 14 to go is where I want to be at Dega, but that head of the line at the low side seems like the place you want to be when you're trying to make a move.
Yeah, that 117 car is doing no favors for Bonomo or St. Core right now. That is creating a pocket of air there. A lot of high pressure. It's going to slow down that whole bottom line from there on back.
Looks like Jamie Horn going to go ahead and jump down as well. He's going to get in front of the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer. I think Andrew St. Core is trying to politely inform Richard Leclerc he's got to go.
Yep, that was that was a little less than polite there, but I think you get the message across.
I don't know, caused a pretty good checkup there through the line, but it was noticed. Daniel Wilkerson stuck out there on the high side. It's like Bill Gentry trying to catch him. I think they're going to try to get in behind Nick Atwood here. Andrew St. Cyr and Kevin Thompson, I think they'd had about enough of waiting right there. They're going to try to get over to the outside and see if they can get any momentum going and get up and around. Oh, that was close.
That was close.
Sean Thompson, I've been a Dodgers fan for 55 years. You're allowed to be. I'm not in any way judging your Dodgers fandom if you're a longtime fan, but I'm not. I'm a Braves fan. A very sad and depressed Braves fan. Go Canadians.
I just want to know how it feels to have a organization that cares about winning. Because
it's got to feel good.
As a Panthers fan and a Braves fan, I have no idea what that feels like.
Thanks, David Tepper, you schmuck.
Hector Racing here, St. Cyr trying to get around Leclerc now. Got some good help from the teammate Kevin Thompson and his unofficial teammate Adam Gardner. I know those guys work together very well and practice together sometimes.
It looks like they got a little bit of help coming now, and you got that top lane kind of cinching back up a little bit. You got Tyler Millette there, you got Chris Leftwich there. Joe McKnight able to kind of start fighting his way back here as well.
Look at that top four.
And they are absolutely locked in. It's like Tyler Millette and Chris Leftwich were kind of thinking about making a third lane there for a second. I don't know if they're trying to let Daniel Wilkerson and Bill Gentry get caught in right there. That top lane looks like Nick Atwood's gotten in there. Joe McKnight's in there as well. That top four right now on that low side, that's Josh Cully, that's Justin McMahon, Steve Manomo, Jamie Horn working together so well. Raymond Rittenhauer is going to be sitting there in fourth place, basically side by side with Andrew St. Cyr. Really needing Richard Leclerc to get up there and give him a good push. Like we're starting to see the makings of a third lane if they can get the momentum, and I just don't think they can get it rolling like that right now.
I expect to see Tyler Millette fall back in line here for a second, try to get a good draft and get that third lane started again. But the trick is you have to have yourself and Chris Leftwich hop out at the same time. If one goes and the next one goes, it's not going to work.
That top lane just still trying to get up and get going. They're going to be right alongside Richard Leclerc and Raymond Rittenhauer here. Brandon Lopez, Brandon Trush, all on that lower lane as well.
You know Justin McMahon is probably blowing on this dashboard to cool that thing off right now. It's got to be hot.
Oh, he's got to be absolutely burning.
He's probably using his hand to fan the dashboard there, trying to cool it down a little bit.
Yeah, 100%.
Pops out right there, probably to save some hair. Get some heat off that car.
It's like Nathan Lawrence going to be up there. He's going to be in front of Tyler Millette, I believe. And he's going to be trying to push. Or do I have those inverted? Pedro Rocha and Nathan Lawrence. Oh, wreck at the front, wreck at the front.
Gardner, Thompson, McMahon.
Oh, no. Parking
everybody.
lot, parking lot.
Everybody. Cully, Horn.
Oh.
St. Cyr. No way. St. Cyr toes it.
That just started at the front. And it just collected everybody.
Lawrence's front left wheel actually looks. Oh no, it's fine. It looked like it has some damage. I think it's just that black around the wheel well there.
What in the world happened up front?
That is a great question. I'd love to tell you. I would kind of like to get a little bit further back than what we're at right here. So I think this started pretty far up.
And for all of the chaos that you saw there, I think there is still going to be some guys that are still functioning. I don't think that's going to be the end of the night for everybody.
Looks like St. Core on the rear, on the bumper of McMahon. Had him pushing through, and he slid up just a little bit. McMahon gets into Coley, takes out Bonomo. Rittenauer dives low. Coley into St. Core. Thompson into Gardner. Then Thompson into Horn. That's McMahon, Atwood, Leclerc, all in it. Millette, Warman. Tony Martin gets into Coley. Chris Leftwich into Tony Martin and back into Coley.
And there is your big one at Talladega with just a couple of laps left to go. I know you're going to see some guys trying to get what they can repaired here. Currently, as it stands out on the track, Nathan Lawrence is out there, seemingly running just fine. Brandon Trush is out there, seemingly running just fine. Nice breaking down pit road. Daniel Wilkerson is out on the track. Pedro Rocha is out on the track. Chris Leftwich bringing it down. Jamie Horn on the track. Brandon Lopez on the track. Eric Warman on pit road. Tyler Millette on pit road. Adam Gardner on pit road. Cully, pit road. Atwood, pit road. Andrew St. Core, unfortunately, that is the end of the night for him. Kevin Thompson, that is the end of his night. Gary Clune was already down on pit road, I believe, but he has also called it a night. Got a couple comments here to catch up on BMAC. Unfortunately for a lot of Team BMP guys there, but saying, yes, go Blue Jays. I agree with you. From one American, go Blue Jays. John Novak, wow, it's like real life. Got a yes, go Nate Love, Josh Tom and the fam. John Novak, massive. Kevin Thompson, that was an awesome race until that. That was such a fun race to watch. And then just, I mean, that was a Talladega big one if I've ever seen it. Robert Lawrence, way to go, Nathan. Nice driving. So up at the front, we're going to try to get everybody gridded back up here, see who still has some power left in the car to give this thing a run for the end. Only going to be a couple of laps left here in the Talladega 250, and there's really only going to be a couple of cars left racing for the end here.
I'm about to say
that might have been the
play. Who does not have damage?
Yeah, exactly.
Jamie Horn's car actually looks relatively clean. I'm not talking
gonna
about the paint scheme.
Made by Nat Betty Designs. Check us
Yeah.
out. Website, natbettyracing.com.
Yeah, slide that one in there. Brandon Lopez, a lot of front end damage there. Nathan Lawrence looking really clean there.
I was going to say, when I saw everything happen, which realistically, that might have been the biggest parking lot I've seen in Group 6 Cup Series history, but Jamie Horn, I think, got through it pretty well. He got spun, but I don't think he took too much damage. Brandon Lopez got these front end dinged in, but I think it's still running. Nathan Lawrence, I think, got through it pretty scratch-free. Pedro Rocha, I think, pretty scratch-free. Brandon Trush, I think, got through it pretty well. Daniel Wilkerson was involved, but I don't think he hit too hard. Chris Simon, I think, was trying to get it back out there. I'm not sure that he's got any power left in that thing.
Simon's car actually looks really good.
Oh, there we go. BMAC, it was fun to watch until the big crash. That's Dega. Andrew St. Core, always frustrating, but at the end of the day, that's Superspeedway racing. That is exactly what that was. That was Superspeedway racing descriptor of. There's a lot of guys racing really hard and really fast, and away we go. Boys, I hope they make the chicken sandwiches in the infield extra special for you.
Yeah, tell them to put a little bit of that sauce on it. Don't know what you're talking about.
I don't think I liked that.
The Alabama Slammer sauce?
Yeah, I really don't know what you're talking about now.
Oh, come on. See, we got to get you cultured about these benches in the islands in Alabama.
I know about. Every time I've been in Alabama, I've tried to remove myself as quickly as possible.
Before they convert you to Sabanism over there.
Sabanism, gosh. Which, in fairness, is also the same reaction I have to the state of Louisiana. But anyway, these guys are also trying to drive fast here, and it's going to be Jamie Horn taking the race lead and taking the green flag here. Giving lap 90 when they cross the stripe here. Who is going to be able to finish this race and take home the Talladega 250 here at Talladega? For Jamie Horn. He's going to immediately get to the low side, try to get in front of Brandon Lopez.
I love where Daniel Wilkerson's at right now.
Daniel Wilkerson is in exactly the spot you want to be in. I believe he's pushing Pedro Rocha right now.
Pedro going to drop down, looks like. You know, Coley can give a really good push here, though. Another good pusher is Jamie Horn.
I say Josh Cully back out there trying to give Daniel Wilkerson a push here. Jamie Horn going to be behind Pedro Rocha now. Brandon Lopez trying to get some momentum. Daniel Wilkerson up there on that high side. Brandon Lopez sitting in that third spot. He's going to have Nathan Lawrence behind him. Brandon Trush trying to get up and get something moving as well. Like you said, I like where Brandon Trush is at right now as well. Plenty of room to work.
Was that a move there by Jamie Horn? I looked like he was trying to pop out, maybe give that high sign a little bit of a draft, help his teammates out.
Daniel Wilkerson looks like he's starting to get a little bit of momentum. Josh Cully doing a great job pushing. He needs Joe McKnight to get up there and get him a little bit more help. So that high side just lost a little bit of steam right there.
Here we go.
High side's got their momentum. When they cross the stripe, that is going to be lap 92 and 94 here tonight.
Here's Jamie Horn.
Jamie Horn.
Oh, the cross.
He okey-dokes back down to the bottom of the track. That's going to leave Pedro Rocha up on the top of the track.
They're going to split them.
Daniel Wilkerson goes high. Josh Cully goes high. Pedro Rocha going to fall back to Joe McKnight. Chris Leftwich going to go high. Pedro Rocha and Joe McKnight sitting all by themselves in the middle. Jamie Horn back on the bottom with Brandon Lopez. Nathan Lawrence going to be right there behind Brandon Lopez. Daniel Wilkerson up at the top in the third lane. Josh Cully up there as well. Chris Leftwich, Tyler Millette. Pedro Rocha stuck in the middle. Joe McKnight. Joe McKnight's going to need to get up there and get on Pedro Rocha if they're going to be able to try to cinch it back in. Pedro Rocha going to have to try to catch back up and get to the bumper of the 83 of Chris Leftwich. If they can get that high lane going again. Tyler Millette drops back down. Chris Simon drops back in. Jamie Horn, Brandon Lopez out at the front. Nathan Lawrence sitting in third. Brandon Trush sitting in fourth. Daniel Wilkerson getting a big push from Josh Cully up at the high side. White flag in the air next time around.
Here's that run.
High side needs to make something happen here and need to try to get up there and be able to close that door back on the low side. Low side seems like they're able to carry the momentum all the way around. Josh Cully gives Daniel Wilkerson a huge push. Let's see if Daniel Wilkerson's able to get up there and close the door. He is. Daniel Wilkerson takes the race lead. White flag is in the air. Horn going to have to try to get back out there and get going. Josh Cully looks like he lost a ton of momentum there.
Brandon Trush into Cully.
Brandon Trush was trying to get up there and got into Cully.
Collects Mike Leftwich up here at the front. Jamie Horn pushing Daniel Wilkerson.
Jamie Horn pushing Daniel Wilkerson. Nathan Lawrence going to be sitting there in third place. Jamie Horn's going to stay behind him. Daniel Wilkerson going to be your race winner here in the Talladega 250. Manage the trouble, manage the time, little help from a friend. Daniel Wilkerson, your winner here at Dega. What a run. Little high five from a friend right there. Jamie Horn elected to stay behind, give him the push. What a run by all of these guys to stay out at the front, get through the trouble, and make it to the end of this race. Congratulations to Daniel Wilkerson on his win here tonight. Nathan Lawrence going to finish in third place. Jamie Horn, as you just saw, got second. Brandon Lopez going to finish fourth place. Pedro Rocha going to finish fifth. Tyler Millette, sixth. Nick Atwood, 7. Adam Gardner, 8. Joe McKnight, 9. And Chris Leftwich, 10. Daniel Wilkerson, after a hard-fought Talladega win, going to get up there, back up there to that checkered line, going to go ahead and burn it down as he should.
It is some black smoke on them tires. I don't know if that's going to pass post-race inspection.
Yeah, I think those things are a little crispy at this point, but congratulations to Daniel Wilkerson. Been through a lot this year, man. Well-earned victory, and he should really celebrate this one. John Novak was in the comments calling for a third lane.
I don't think anybody has
Just be creates. Just be creates touche, cold trickle, good run. Third baby, great job, Nate. Great job, everyone from 143 Tequila. Podium finish, way to go, Nate, Tom, Josh, and fam. Robert Lawrence, third place. G-Funk, way to go, Daniel. Congrats. Kathy Trush, great race, great announcing. Hunter and John, thank you. Kathy.
Thank you.
B-Mac, congratulations, Daniel, Jamie, and Nathan. Absolutely. Following one of the biggest wrecks I've ever seen here in the Doghouse Racing League in the Group 6 Cup Series. These guys are able to power through and bring it home, give us still a great finish. Congratulations again to your top 3, Daniel Wilkerson, Jamie Horn, and Nathan Lawrence. We will work on getting them up into the booth for their post-race interviews in just a second.
Yeah, just going back to this wreck right here in this final lap. Trush trying to hold it. I mean, once that car starts sliding, it is hard to hold.
Yeah, I know exactly what he was trying to do right there. He was trying to get up to the high side and get in that lane and be able to make something happen. And it's just, the door was open there for a second, and then the door closed. And then, like you said, once you start sliding around at 200 miles an hour, good luck getting them going back straight again.
Yeah, this ain't no just tap the brakes a little bit and stop the car at the stoplight. I do want to ride along right here with Mike Leftwich, though, because, I mean, this guy, he just gets tagged here out of nowhere. If there was a sucker punch in NASCAR, I feel like that's what it would look like. I'm not saying it was a cheap shot. It just seemed like you just mind your own business and get tagged from behind.
All of a sudden, oh, my kidneys.
Yeah, that is terrible. I hate it for him. It's got a terrible feeling for that to happen, but maybe sucker punch isn't the right word. If somebody were to just tag you from behind like that, yeah. But that is going to be it for the race tonight out here at Talladega for the Talladega 250 try to get these results up for you so you can see where your driver finished at tonight. Danny Wilkerson take it home in first place. Jamie Horn second. Nate Lawrence in third. Brandon Lopez fourth. Newcomer Pedro Roca in fifth place. Tyler Millette sixth. Nick Atwood seventh. Adam Gardner eighth. Joe McKnight ninth. Chris Leftwich 10th. Chris Simon going to be 11th. Josh Cully 12th. Eric Warman 13th. 14th will be Brandon Trush. 15th, Mike Leftwich. Tony Martin in 16th. Just McMahon 17th. And Bill Gentry rounding out your top 10. So we try to move on back here just a little bit. Andrew St. Cyr calling it a little bit early tonight after that big pile up in 19th. Steve Bonomo 20th. Kevin Thompson 21st. Ray Rittenauer in 22nd. Leclerc in 23rd. John Novak leading a lot of laps in 24th. Gary Clune right there with him. 25th, Gary Maydew, 26th. Mark Dumont and Adam Thompson are going to round out your field here tonight. We do have some guys up here for interviews. Before we get them up there, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. And we are back. I do have your top three up here in the waiting room as we pull up Nate Lawrence to the booth. Nate, you got a copy of this in the booth?
Yes, sir. I got you loud and clear.
Well, hey, man, congratulations on third place tonight. Was about the survival of the fittest. Kind of a little pun throwing back to how much we talked about Darwin tonight and his selective nature. But talk to us about that run and how you're able to survive and keep that car. Actually looks really clean coming to the finish there.
Yeah, I have no idea how that happened. I got caught up right in the middle of that big one. I have no idea how I made it out of that. I just jammed on the brakes, kind of got myself a hole and just hoped for the best. And it opened up and I came out P1 or P3, I think, after everybody cycled past the wreck. Yeah, that was when I had gone into the pits earlier by myself. I filled up with 40 laps of fuel to make sure that I didn't have to stop again. So I was good for the finish there. And yeah, I was kind of, I don't know if you guys saw the ARCA race, but I felt a little bad after what happened between me and Jamie there. So I was going to try and push him to the win, but he just stuck there with Daniel, and that was great, man. That was a great way to finish that race, and popping out P3 feels really good.
Yeah, man, I think this is your second race in the Thursday night series.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, second race got you a P3 finish already. Hoping you come back next year and join us for the whole season. But talking about going next week to Phoenix, what do you think about Phoenix and how do you like your chances there?
Man, I love Phoenix. I haven't driven it in the new cars yet. I'm definitely going to hit some practice laps before we go out and do that. But I love Phoenix as a track. Gen 4 cars on that track are one of my favorite combos. So I think I'll do well. I got to find a setup for it. So it should be good, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, man. Well, before I let you go, any sponsor shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, shout out to my family. They turned out in the chat. They've been watching the last few races. Josh, my dad, my buddy Brad, my girlfriend Tila. Shout out to all of them. Shout out to you guys for the amazing broadcasts that you guys do, and shout out to Doghouse for sure for hosting all these. These guys are a great group of people, and it's been an honor.
Yeah, so again, congratulations on P3 tonight, man, and looking forward to talking to you next week at Phoenix.
Roger that, brother. Sounds good. I look forward to it.
All right, have a good night.
You too, buddy.
It's going to be Nathan Lawrence. I called him Nathaniel Lawrence earlier tonight. I didn't want to bring that up. Just the whole government name out there for him. finishing in P3 tonight, kind of went from the back of the field to the front. We had a little stop and pause moment when he pitted by himself, and it seemed to work out perfectly fine for him. So good driving. Hope to see more of him next week at Phoenix, and a lot more of him next season here in the Doghouse Racing League. But coming up next, I do have your second place finisher in Jamie Horns. I pull him up to the booth. Jamie, you got a copy list in the booth?
Yes, sir, I do.
Congrats on second place tonight. Kind of a crazy run there. We saw you escape that big wreck there. How much damage did you take from that wreck?
Honestly, I'm not sure. It didn't feel any different. I think Kevin, I was watching the replay on the broadcast under caution. I think Kevin caught my right rear just a little bit, but I mean, the car didn't feel any different. So I don't think it was too much. Somehow I got lucky because usually that would be the end of my night right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you're not really keen on Talladega, but we are heading to Phoenix next week. Talk to us about Phoenix and how you're looking to pad your point standings here.
So I like Phoenix a lot. We ran good there earlier in the season. I can't remember what happened. I messed up qualifying, something I don't know. I think I missed qualifying because I was helping y'all do something I don't know. But ended up coming back up to second, and I think Shane won that one. So it was a fun race. I like Phoenix a lot, and I look to have a pretty good car there when we go, hopefully.
Yeah, when you said that, it just brought back a lot of memories of us having that time and a half trying to get the broadcast started. Come a long way since then, but we're all growing together. But I was gonna, well, I was gonna ask you. The last thing I was gonna ask you is about Bill Gentry being your daddy.
Yeah, that's Papa Gentry there.
Well, I guess that transitions us to our sponsors and shout outs. If you want to lead off with Papa Gentry for a shout out there.
Yeah, I do need to say shout out to Papa Gentry though, because if I don't, I'll be in trouble when I get off here. Shout out to Group6 for being the series sponsor. Nap Daddy Racing, Shoney's Butt Kicker, SSR Designs, Trackside NASCAR Outlet. Thanks to all those guys that sponsor the league and everybody out there that sponsored races this season. It's definitely helps the league tremendously. Definitely got to say congrats to Daniel for the win. Super proud of him for getting that done, and was glad to push him there. And also thanks to Daniel for all the time he puts into the league and all the admins. It takes a lot to keep it going, as y'all are learning. So yeah, it it's it has its moments, but it's rewarding. I enjoy helping and doing it with them. Thanks to y'all, Nap Daddy, for the awesome paint. Uh, I don't know if I had 50 extra horsepower tonight, 100, or just luck. It was one of those two. I probably luck tonight, but car looks great. Thanks to all my teammates for everything they do every week, putting in the practice to bring fast cars. Shout out to all our fans out there that watch every week, our families. We appreciate them. It makes watching the broadcast fun whenever we get to hear y'all say what they're saying in the chat. I'm always scared of what my mom might be saying, so I have to ask her if she embarrassed me or not. Nah. Um, Shout out to Mama Horn at home watching. Oh, and don't let me forget, Bill, if you are listening, she told me that you was not supposed to tell me that you were my daddy, whatever that means.
And shout out to Mama Horn for having you.
Yeah, that too.
Well, congrats again on second place tonight. I know it's a dogfight to get out of here alive and especially finish on a podium finish, but looking forward to talking to you next week at Phoenix.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
Have a good night.
It's going to be Jamie Horn finishing in second place tonight. Always tells us how much he hates this place, and always jokes about that 50 extra horsepower that Nap Daddy design gets him, but I only paint 4 inches of that spoiler. The whole 7 inches at Superspeedways, I don't paint the other 3 inches there, so can't say I contributed that tonight. It's probably just a lot of luck that helped out there, which kind of always good to have on your side here to Superspeedway. But coming up next, I do have your race winner and league admin to say, in Daniel Wilkerson. Daniel, you got a copy of this in the booth?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, hey, man, congrats on the win tonight. Had a great run there at the end, able to keep the car clean all night. I've been asking everybody else about that wreck. We actually went back to an earlier wreck tonight or you just skirted through. Tell us about that first wreck. You were kind of just squeezed right to the middle, stayed low, and kept it through, kept it clean. Talk to us about all the wrecks and how you're able to survive tonight.
I tell you, I was a little lucky. I just aimed for daylight and was hoping somebody didn't come sliding across the track and get me. I mean, really, it was just luck, I guess. Normally, I guess 99% of these races, it probably would have got me. So it was tough. I mean, it was really tough. I hated so many good cars got taken out in those wrecks for sure. But was glad I was the one to get through them.
Well, also, this is your hometown track here, too. And Hunter had a lot of words to say about Alabama tonight. So, Hunter, you got anything else you want to say about Alabama? No, but
Roll Tide.
I don't think he'll say that. But coming there to the end, there had Jamie Horn giving you a good push, able to get down to the low side. Was there a chance that you thought that you might have a good run to actually drop down to the low side in front of him there?
Yeah, I mean, Josh Cully was doing a really good job of pushing me on the top. He got me, it was really good. And I hated actually to leave him to go down in front of Jamie, but, definitely I dropped down. I think that was the best line to be in at the time. And then, Jamie gave me a really good push. I couldn't have done it without him. I couldn't have done it without Josh either, but I figured at that point, once I got down there, that I was kind of hoping Josh would have made it a little bit closer and could have actually got on the podium as well. But it didn't work out for him, but I couldn't have done it without them too. And I mean, really, even I got shuffled out. Had to avoid a wreck there at the end. It wasn't really a wreck, but it was going to be, I thought. And I got shuffled all the way to the back, and Bill picked me up, and which really helped me tremendously. There's no telling where I would have went. I went too far back to do anything. So just some, me and Tyler working together. I mean, Justin, I mean, all the teammates, man, it was just fantastic. But special thanks to Jamie. I mean, he really gave me a heck of a push there at the end.
Absolutely. Well, heading to Phoenix next week, and I'm looking at the points here. You did move up a little bit here in the points into the 10th place position. And looks like you're about 59 points out behind Adam Thompson. Going to Phoenix next week, how do you feel about that and closing in more on the point standings here?
Not very good. It's probably one of my worst tracks. I actually love the track, but I've never really been that good there. So I'll put in a lot of practice this week and see if I can get better. But if I get top 10 there, I'll really be happy. Again, moving up in points, that's a good thing. Missed a good bit of races this year, so I'm happy to be actually just even in the top 10. That was kind of the goal when I started the playoffs is to get to the top 10. So hopefully I can just have a solid finish to where I can stay where I'm at.
Absolutely. Well, before I let you go, any sponsors or shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, I mean, first thing I got to thank Jamie's mom for having him. Because without that, of course, I wouldn't have got the push from him tonight. And then special thanks to Group 6 for sponsoring the series. Shoney's has always been there, trackside NASCAR outlet as well. I'm sure I'm missing people, but everybody that really supports the league, definitely appreciate, and y'all as well. Y'all do a fantastic job doing this, so appreciate the good calls.
Absolutely. Well, we love doing it, and appreciate you guys giving us the chance to start doing it and keep growing, even though Jamie reminded us that Phoenix last race at Phoenix is where we had our big blunder and could not get stuff to work. So hopefully we've grown a little bit since then. But again, congratulations on first place tonight, and looking forward to talking to you next week at Phoenix.
Yeah, sounds great, man. Thank you.
All right, have a good night.
You too.
It's going to be Daniel Wilkerson finishing in first place tonight, picking up that win. Going to move him up one spot in the point standings up to 10th place. He's now 59 points behind Adam Thompson, who is sitting in 9th place. And Adam Thompson is now 1 point behind Josh Cully, who is sitting in 8th place. So things starting to tighten up there between spots 4 through 10. Really all about 100-point separation, maybe just a little bit more. If you want to check out that standings board, you can go to doghouseracingle.com, click on Cup Series, and scroll down. You'll see the Cup standings. You'll see the last race results. You also see the schedule, so you can keep up when the next race is going to be. And if you're really, really enjoying this Doghouse Racing League action, you can catch them on Tuesday nights. That's going to start at 7:45 on Intensity Broadcasting on YouTube. Looks like next week heading to Chicagoland on Tuesday night for the Trackside NASCAR Outlet 132. Going to be 88 laps of fun there. It's a really good time. If you're looking to join a league, make sure you reach out to one of these admins. Reach out to me even, and I'll get you in touch with one of them. Always a fun time, a good time to have a good league to join. Had some newcomers tonight do pretty well, but before we go here, any final thoughts on the race?
Yeah, it's just a really fun race to watch, man. Like Daniel said, you hate to see so many really fast cars get taken out there at the end. We had a lot of guys who've been putting on a really good show get taken out by Talladega tonight, but that is, super speedway racing for you, though. Congratulations again to Daniel for getting that win. I know he's had kind of a back and forth year. A lot of things going on, but congratulations to him on being able to get that win. And Jamie Horn and Nathan Lawrence, only his second race here with us, but able to pull out that third place. And just really, really strong runs by a lot of different drivers. Really fun to watch. Looking forward to next week. Like you said, you can catch the rest of the iRacing Doghouse Racing League action on Intensity Broadcasting on Tuesday nights. You can catch us there as well. We're not in the booth for those, but you can catch John on the track and me up in the spotter booth yelling somewhere. But just a really fun race tonight, and looking forward to next week, man.
Same. I love Phoenix. It is my number one favorite track, so especially to race at. So definitely going to be a fun time. Going to be a lot of skills put on the line, put to the test next week as we head over there. But last thing, before we actually get out of here and get in any kind of trouble here, tell us who pays for this.
Absolutely. Once again, want to thank all of our sponsors for making this whole thing possible. You heard everyone mention it again. This is the Group 6 Cup Series. Group 6 is a leading creative agency, and they are passionate about crafting cutting-edge websites, developing dynamic web solutions, and providing top-tier managed hosting services. Their mission is to help businesses of all sizes enhance their online presence. Explore their wide range of services at group6inc.com and see how they can help drive your digital success. Once again, special thank you and shout out to Group 6 for being our series sponsor this year. You can catch their sponsor on the number 24 car of Justin McMahon all year long. Also want to thank Shoney's for being a longtime friend and sponsor of the Doghouse Racing League and the Group 6 Cup Series. We are proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Good run for some of our Shoney's racing team drivers here as well tonight. Chris Leftwich finishing 10th and Chris Simon coming home in 11th place. Also want to give a special shout out to Butt Kicker for being a longtime friend and sponsor of the Doghouse Racing League and the Group 6 Cup Series. If you want to take your sim racing experience to the next level, be sure you head on over to their website at thebuttkicker.com and pick yourself up something today, trusted by both professionals and casual drivers. Guarantee if you pick something up from their website, you will not be sorry. Thank you to Butt Kicker once again for being a longtime friend and sponsor of the league. A little shameless self-promotion at the end of this thing. For those that don't know, myself and John make up a company called Nap Daddy Racing. We do not just do the broadcasting thing, although we do enjoy it very, very much. Originally started as a iRacing design shop. We've expanded to try to be your one-stop shop for anything and all things iRacing. Check out our website at napdaddyracing.com for all of your custom design, template, or logo needs. And be sure you grab some of the free content we have available as well. John just updated the site with some brand new templates and paint schemes. Even if you're not into iRacing yourself, you can grab a t-shirt, you can grab a hat, you can grab a sticker, help support the boys. We would definitely appreciate it. Check us out here on Doghouse Racing TV on Thursday nights, on our own channel at Nap Daddy Racing on Monday nights for the Nap Daddy Racing League, and live on TikTok and Twitch as often as we can, as John mentioned earlier. Doghouse Racing League Group 6 Cup Series gave us our first shot in broadcasting, and we are incredibly proud to be up here in the booth for them, and very thankful to them. Also very thankful to all of you out in The crowd who joined us here tonight, the comment section was amazing tonight. The viewership was amazing tonight. Thank you to each and every one of you who decided to join us here tonight. It was a pleasure, as always, to be broadcasting for you and be cheering with you. We're as much fans as you guys are. Be sure you like the stream. It helps out a ton. Be sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the action here on Doghouse Racing TV. And once again, loved reading all the comments here tonight. Really rowdy crowd in here tonight. It was amazing. Hope we have just as much next week. Well, that being said, I think we're about ready to get out of here. And you had to let Daniel Wilkerson drop a roll tide on me when they played my Gamecocks this week. And, I mean, it's not going to be good.
Don't care about nothing but the tide. My PG version of that. But anyways, that's going to be it for us here tonight at Talladega. Make sure you join us again next week at Phoenix. It's going to be same time, 7:45, right here on Doghouse Racing TV next Thursday night. And looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time. So for the last time tonight, I've been John.
And I've been Hunter.
We will see you guys next time.
Take care, everybody. Thompson and St. Cyr side by side, racing it out. Who has the faster car to finish this thing? St. Cyr is gonna bring it home in first. What a race at the end of that thing. Caution, caution, caution. Come around the corner. Jamie Horn is going to be your winner here at the Mars Properties 200.